Hi, welcome to the We Give Summit and to this lightning talk about how you can engage businesses to drive meaningful impact. I am Beth Bankson. I am the founder and CEO of workingforwomen.org. Now I gave you the web address too, so you can find out and learn more about us. But give me a second. I'm going to pull up our presentation and walk you through a bit about why we exist. And once I pull that up, all the fun challenges of Zoom still in this world. So let's get that displaying. Great. Now I'm here with you. So again, we're working for women. We're at the We Give Summit, and I am excited to talk with you today. The things that we will cover are who we are and why we engage businesses and why we've chosen to do that. How to collaboratively work with members that are part of our community, as well as the partners, the nonprofit partners that we fund. And why measure? Why did we choose that as from the inception and understanding our impact and ensuring that we can drive meaningful impact through our community? But first, let's start with our cause. Why do I run an organization called Working for Women? And why are we focused on women? And how does that line back up to helping engage the business community? Well, we're focused on women because, unfortunately, the easiest way to be in poverty in the United States is to be female. So the stats show 1 in 8 women are in poverty. But not only that, unfortunately, on top of that, but not surprising for those of us that are working moms, being a working mom, especially a single one, is the single quickest path to poverty. And while we see plenty of women out there in the workforce these days, think about the jobs that they're in. Think about even during COVID, which was the gender that was most impacted? It was women. And why is that? Because 46%, while women are 50% of the workforce, 46%, half of those women are working underneath the federal poverty wage. And that has major impacts on our society because it is shown time and time again that when we invest in women, those women in turn not only return those dollars to themselves, but they invest them back into their families and back into the communities. There is a stat that says women on average invest 90 cents of every dollar as compared to 35 cents for men. So it's good for our economy. And let me explain why: to get more money into the hands of women and to elevate women into the workforce, especially those that want to be able to be in there and be able to support their families. Having women have more economic mobility, it is good for our GDP. Women account for, so on the other side of the stats, while you see these, 80 to 90% of all household purchases are decided by women. So for businesses to have more women have economic mobility, have more money in the hands and in their families' hands, is just pure good business and contributes and supports our society. So that kind of gives you a little bit as to why we've also chosen the business community and engaging in that. So who is Working for Women? Well, we talk about ourselves as a next generation giving model, especially as it relates to the business community. We are a community of businesses and professionals who invest dollars and skills. And so think about that from a giving community standpoint: time, talent, and treasure. We talk about it as dollars and skills to help women enter and stay in the workforce, with our goal for them to be financially independent. And truthfully, I would add financially mobile as we continue to evolve our model out. And so we look for businesses both within our community and also national. Our organization is made up of large multinational organizations like Paramount and another global consulting firm called ZS, all the way down to sole professionals. Any size business, as long as they're interested in giving back to women, is a great part of our organization. But key to, like any other giving circle, has to line up to the values. And so if you are working to elevate women within your business, or women are your main constituents or purchasers of your product, it makes sense to then be part of a giving community that is collectively trying to raise up women across the United States. And the other piece in that is that businesses these days also have a lot of extra demands on them. They're, in terms of hiring and retention, Employees want to work for businesses that are not only paying them a good wage, taking good care of them in terms of benefits, but are actually trying to address social issues. So the community, being part of a community that is a giving community, helps strengthen and support the culture of those organizations, as well as customers are thinking more and more about how they're investing their dollars and who they're spending them with. And while it's very important to have a good product and service that you're out there offering and customer service to go with it, this can be that differentiator in terms of people choosing your product or service over another by knowing kind of the values of your organization. So it's good business to get more money into the hands of women, but it's also good business to be giving back and investing in your community and showing that you are a good corporate citizen. So on the other side of it, as you look at this, we talk the one side of the model really about being the businesses and professionals and giving collectively and moving those resources, those again, dollars and skills. We fund projects both through dollars and skill sets, and I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide, over to, at the same point that we're building a business membership community, we're building a nonprofit community across the United States. Because in talking about those organizations that are working to help elevate women, most of them are all grassroots and small and under the radar in the United States, which is not shocking when you understand that less than 2% of all philanthropy in the United States goes to women and girls. So we want to raise those organizations and move more resources to them, and also build a network out on that side. So we build community not only with our business members, but across our nonprofit members. And I want people to think about this as you're building out your giving community, whether you're reaching businesses or you're just reaching individuals in community and coming together. The one key thing that we heard about from the nonprofits that as we were building this model out and building our giving community was that they were really interested in long-term relationships. They are happy to be able to take our money. It helps them along those lines, but knowing that you're going to be there and investing with them and helping them on that journey is just as important to them. As much as we've also learned that the skill sets of our business members can be just as valuable as moving dollars directly into these organizations. And that's why we really look at how we're funding those projects and different ways that we can kind of engage the business community and engage their employees more directly in this work. So as you see from this slide, I think the key thing to understand about working for women is that we think through the model from the standpoint of the businesses, from the standpoint of the societal impact and how that lines back and supports both our business membership, but also in terms of the nonprofits, that the nonprofits that we work with, we've specifically chosen to focus our funding across to organizations across the United States that focus on three things. They may all do it differently, but they all do essentially three things. They connect women to jobs. They enhance their skills and training to allow them to further their careers and increase their financial return. And just like what we're talking about building in terms of building giving communities and the value that we get out of that community, they provide those women with those communities of support that in many cases they've never had access to. So we really see this as a way that women and businesses can reach down and elevate and bring other women up onto that ladder and help them advance their economic mobility. You see, there are 7 nonprofits in our network right now. Each year we grow and extend our reach across the United States as our business membership and professionals that are part of our community grow. But the key thing to understand that more than half of the organizations on here have been with us since inception. We really take seriously that commitment to that long-term relationship. And the other pieces in our funding that we very much consider is making sure that our funds, again, whether dollars or skills, are going to fund projects that are helping these organizations expand their reach. We look for capacity building projects, and that can be in one of two ways. It can be that we are extending those organizations' programming and bringing in the business skills. It could be negotiation skills, interview skills, the things that you need to be able to be successful in the workforce into these organizations and helping extend the reach of their programming, or we bring business resources in to help them with organizational challenges like marketing and communications messaging, board messaging workshops, other types of projects that allow these organizations to grow from an organizational standpoint. Because if we help them grow from an organizational standpoint, then guess what? They expand their ability to reach more women. And if they expand their ability to reach more women, then we satisfy our end goal, which is helping get more women to financial independence. So I want you to understand that in the Working for Women model, all the different aspects all reach out and support. And like you saw in that other slide, the arrows going back and forth. That is very much an important part of this. It's not just a through way. We think through that whole piece to make sure it's a real circular approach that comes back and benefits all parts of our model. Which brings me right into measuring and reporting impact. From inception, we have thought very hard about how we would report back and have people understand. And what we've learned is, and this is why we talk about, and especially I think any giving circle model, we give back better, right? Together, we give back better. And so our framework for measuring impact is really our value proposition, right? Is that one that we talk about, and I've talked about in this talk today, that women are able to gain economic independence. Two, that the nonprofit partners that we bring into our network are able to grow their capacity and efficiency and be able to reach more women. And three, we have three key stakeholders: women, nonprofits, and then the businesses, our business members, right? Are we helping them with their business? Are we helping them to retain and attract employees and contractors? And so you can go to our website. We have a page on impact, and we will be releasing the 2022 report soon. But that is our framework for reporting, right? And putting surveys and putting measures and ways to be able to get qualitative and quantitative measures together, as you'll see from the example here, to be able to showcase, one, how we're impacting women, two, how we're helping our nonprofit partners in the network, and three, how the businesses are benefiting also as well. We ensure that this is a mutually beneficial experience. There's no point in us kind of facilitating across these worlds unless we are helping all the partners as part of this are able to win. And so we talk about this as a win-win-win. A win for the women, a win for the nonprofits, and a win for businesses. And truthfully, there's a fourth win. As this happens and we help increase women's economic and financial security, that's a win for our society, as those women are able to then not only take care of their families and invest dollars back into their communities, but have more purchasing power, which in turn helps our GDP and our community and our society, truthfully. So with that is my lightning talk. I'm sure you have more questions. I am more than happy to talk with any of you. I hope you enjoyed and got something from this. I hope it's challenged you to think about ways that you can engage the business community and bring them into your circle and professionals. I hope it's helped you to think about how we can work more collaboratively with our nonprofit partners and those we're funding. And most importantly, giving you some thought about measuring an impact, because that is another key component for us for bringing the business community in. Businesses want to know what their return on investment is. And so having a focus and having an ability to showcase and help them understand their return on the impact is really, really important along those lines. So my email address is here, beth@workingforwomen.org. Go check us out at workingforwomen.org and keep up all the great work that you're doing with all of your giving circles. And I look forward to hearing from some of you. Thank you, and we will see you soon.